Welcome to another edition of the Recruiting Scoop. I'm Jarret Johnson, and look who I have here with me, the mighty Joe Yeager. Mighty Joe, man, how you doing?
Excellent. How you doing, Jarret?
Well, I'm doing, actually pretty good, man. And I know you are doing well because we're in the midst of basketball season,
that's right,
and Tech's actually playing some meaningful games. And we're going to have, don't worry, because I get asked this every time, where's the basketball content? Talk Tech basketball. We're going to have that for you, too. So if you haven't already seen that, it's coming, all right? Or keep looking through the channel or on Inside the Road Raiders. It's there, or it will be there. But big national signing day for Joey McGuire and the Texas Tech football program. I don't know about you, Mighty Joe, but I'm pretty impressed with what McGuire and his staff has done so far.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. They went heavy on defense.
Yes.
Obviously. And very balanced on defense. DBs, linebackers, DL, they covered all the bases. They got some players over there, man.
They really did. And, McGuire said, he told both recruits, he told us, anybody who would listen, look, we're going to go heavy on defense. We're going to go heavy in the trenches. And, they want Texans. They want West Texans. They want Texans. And he even said during the press conference on Wednesday that, look, we didn't go heavy West Texas this class, but if you look at the 2023 class, it is heavy West Texas.
Sure.
And it's also, oh, by the way, the 2023 class, which is just really early, but it's ranked fourth. And last time I saw, fourth in the country and tops in the Big 12.
Right.
And then this 2022 class, which is not final, but, the early signing period has become the signing day. And, man, when McGuire was hired, it was like 78 or 79, Tech's class was, and ninth in the Big 12. Last I saw, it may have changed in the last hour, especially on this day, but they were top 40 and sixth in the Big 12. I mean, that's pretty good for him coming in for, 6 weeks,
Yeah.
What does that tell you, Mighty Joe?
Well, the man can recruit. He's got some connections. He made it happen. He probably created the same impression with a lot of these recruits that he created with us when we saw him. He's a pretty dynamic, impressive kind of a guy. He has a vision. He was able to sell kids on it. And obviously there's some playing time available for some people as well. That always comes into play. But however he did it, looks like he did a pretty good job, at least up to this point.
Yeah, I agree. And one of y'all on the board asked me, I can't remember if it was in the Hump Day chat or in the headquarters or whatever, live updates on signing day, but basically what my impressions, where I thought they changed, where I thought he changed the roster or helped the roster with the signing class. And first thing that stands out to me is speed. You got speed everywhere, both sides of the ball. It's just one of the faster groups of classes that I can remember. Yeah. I mean, you got track star, you got guys that could end up, running for Kitley, and then you got some edge rusher guys, I want to make sure I get his name right, Joseph
Adedire.
Yes, that's it. Right. Yes. Tech just doesn't sign those kind of guys out of high school. They just don't. Out at Mansfield Summit, 6'3", 250 pounds, and he's obviously got those hips where and those shoulders where he could turn, and he's a pass rusher. The guy's, he could end up playing on Sundays as a pass rusher. He has that kind of skill set. So, that's exciting. So not only do you have speed, but also he talked about the length. McGuire said, both on the offensive line and a lot of these up front defensive players that have really long, wingspans. Which, fast, big, and long sounds pretty dang good, right, Mighty Joe? That's what you look for.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole blueprint these days. You got that, and you got the makings of a good defense. Tyler King talking about speed. Now that dude, runs a sub 4.34.
Yes, he does. And that's been timed.
Yeah, and there have not been. I've been following Tech football a long time, and I can remember very, very few guys.
Like Jakeem, right? That's the one I can think of lately.
The only other one that I can think of is a guy named Wayne Walker, a wide receiver out of Waco back in the late 80s, who was the top receiver for Billy Joe Tolliver, played for the San Diego Chargers for a while. Okay. He was some kind of receiver. He ran like a 4.28, 4.29, about like Tyler King. Wow. And Tech had a DB named Lemuel Stinson out of Houston Worthing, who had that same kind of speed, had a long career as a cornerback for the Chicago Bears.
What era was he?
He was a little bit before Walker, so he would have been the early to mid 80s. So, you know, I mean, that's the elite speed that you're talking about with a Tyler King. So, you know, that can't be anything but good.
You know, I asked Coach about, we didn't even mention Marion Horn.
Right.
Who's, I mean, he's one of the faster guys you'll find. He might start for you at running back or cornerback, you know, and be your primary punt and kick returner. I mean, he's that kind of dynamic player. Yeah. So, and that's, you don't have to take my word for it. That's what Coach McGuire said. I really like Elston. What's his Tavares Elston? I mean, and I love that. The thing about Coach McGuire that I like is, like, I don't feel like he's somebody trying to impress us. You know, he doesn't. It's like this great effort to try and say something that, like, we haven't thought of. I mean, sometimes it's not very complicated. You put Elston's huddle tape on, and you're like, holy. You know, you think of Dwayne Slay. He's violent. He's quick. He's physical. He's violent. And that's what McGuire said, was like, look, I saw 3 plays and was like, I'm offering this guy. You know, he said, and that's refreshing to hear, because sometimes I just feel like some of these coaches try and just they're trying too hard, you know, to come up with something. It's not complicated. It's football, you know. This guy is violent. He looks ready to go, and I love that he said he could play strong safety or linebacker for you, because that's what I mean, I'm just saying that's what I see. You know, he's got the build of right now. He could play strong safety for you. Maybe you put on some weight on him, and he's a, you know, undersized, one of those Baylor type linebackers. That's exactly violent, right, Joe?
Exactly,
I mean, I love it.
I think there's a few guys like that that are those hybrid safety linebacker types, smallish linebacker, big safety. Ben Roberts, that linebacker.
Well, he might. You know? You put on weight, he might be an edge rusher for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, like, that guy.
That's exactly right. And you know, TCU does that too. They spin guys down.
They do.
The bigger to smaller position. You know that, and so you know looks kind of like the blueprint for what's going on here. And it's going to be a fast defense.
Ty Canna, which I can't figure out how to say his name, because I've heard Kana and Canna. I'm going
it's
back.
It's not Kana though. Definitely not Kana, because that's kind of what I thought.
I heard, well, you know what? I realized, I did some research. I looked around last night. It took me forever, and I heard the USC site say Kana, but then I heard McGuire say Kana, and I just realized, who would I rather sound like? The native Texan or the Californian? I was like, so I'm going with Kana. Yeah. So I was like, I felt kind of silly sitting in a press conference like, oh gosh, I was you know, looking to California to pronounce a Texan's name, like, you know. But no, I really like that player. Coach made a really good point about him coming from the Katy program. I didn't know he played all 4 years. Playing all 4 years for a program like Katy, which, I mean, you can put that up against the best programs in the country in high school football. And Coach Joseph there, I mean, his resume is as good as Coach McGuire's. So, of course, they did battle. I think they played in 4 straight state championships at one point. This century. So, you know, what a great program that guy's coming from. And I saw a video of him running on a treadmill 20 miles per hour. And that was pretty as impressive as somebody running on a treadmill could be. So, you know, to speak to what you said, they have a bunch of these athletic, physical defensive players that, you know, maybe Tech gets 1 or 2 of them, you know, not like the whole group. Yeah. And when you look at the defensive line, we already mentioned Adedire. Harvey Dyson, you know, 6'3", 250, 260. He's ready to go. Sincere Massey, 6'5", 280 already. And you watch these guys play, they know how to play. And they're playing at the highest level. They're at Cedar Hill. And then this dude they got from Louisiana, I finally put on his tape like a night or two ago. And that's a Zarnell Fitch special there. He recruited him to TCU, and then I don't know what happened with him, but he decommitted November 1st from TCU. But you know, now he's coming. He's 6'3", 280, and as Coach McGuire said, if you play center, you don't want to play against this dude. He's not like a fat 6'3", 280. It was like that's just him hanging out. Like he's going to be 300, 305 for Tech, and that's. I mean, Joe. I mean, do you remember them getting this many guys in terms of defensive linemen at a high school, but of this caliber? Do you remember that?
No.
Like, in recent memory?
Not really. No, that's a good point.
To me, defensive line is where if you want to look for something like where did Tech get better in this class? Defensive line. And then you go linebacker and secondary. It goes back to your point, defense.
That's right. And then, you know, the tie-in with these defensive linemen and Zarnell Fitch is a big deal, because I've always, or at least for the last several years, really admired TCU's defensive line.
Oh, yeah.
They've always had guys up there, always stout. And so, hey, if we're getting a TCU type of a defensive line coming along, out of this, then bring it on, man. Bring it on.
Yeah, and Adedire was a flip, too, from TCU.
Right,
so,
yes.
I mean, and then offensively, Bryson Donnell, he reminds me of Taj Brooks. I said this on a video previewing. He does a little bit of everything. He's an unselfish guy. He shared a backfield with another Division I running back.
Alabama guy.
Yeah, but he's prolific still. He reminds me of a slightly quicker, not quite as stout Taj Brooks. But if you have two Taj Brooks in your backfield, you're feeling pretty good, right?
That's right.
I mean, I like him. So we'll have to see. Hut Graham, be interesting to see what he can do at safety. And then, some offensive linemen in Caden Weatherby, Sheridan Wilson, I like them. Offensive line is hard to project. It really is.
Right.
You see them, okay, they're dominating at the high school level, but who knows? Maybe in 2 years, maybe in 4 years, they do something, or maybe never. Maybe
right.
Sure. But I do like what I see of them on film. So no quarterback this class, which is kind of a glaring deal, but then that was addressed, at least Coach McGuire said, look, our quarterback room, we like it. And it doesn't seem like anybody's leaving. The way he said it. He said no one's left yet. So if you do return all those quarterbacks, then you do feel good about your quarterback room, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
sure.
I don't remember having 3 guys that you felt that good about. Mm-hmm. Do you?
No. I don't think not signing a quarterback this time around. If you're ever going to go a class without signing one, this is it. I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, and I asked Coach about 2023, the class, and just what he wants to accomplish. And he said, look, we have a good base. We have a good start. Now is the time we go find that quarterback. So, that's where we can really focus on. So, obviously, they didn't sign one in 2022. That's going to be something they're going to focus on in 23.
Sure.
And then, real quick, I want to mention the transfers. You had 3 transfers come in. Brady Boyd, 6'1", 190, 195, originally from South Lake Carroll, coming over from Minnesota. He played in 9 games, but he didn't get a lot of heavy playing time his true freshman year at Minnesota. But Coach McGuire said his dad used to be his offensive coordinator. He was at Cedar Hill his first years. Yeah, and so... and then Brady Boyd told our Austin Massey in an interview that he used to spend the night, their family used to spend the night over at the McGuire because they'd be, going over film and stuff. So just come on,
Right.
And then that's, you wonder where these relationships are formed. Here you go,
Yep.
And he said that he ran a 4.3 at South Lake. And I don't know if you watched his film, but there's all these one-handed catches on the run, and we all know Carroll plays, the best competition in Texas too. So, man. More speed, another weapon, for to be in to be in Zach Kitley. I'm going to do that a lot. Y'all are going to have to correct me. In Zach Kitley's spread offense, he's going to be like a slot kind of guy, but I think he can go outside too because he's got enough size and athleticism. And then Dimitri Moore and Tyler Owens. He said Tyler Owens ran he got second in the state in 100 his senior year.
Wow.
Yeah, and the guy who beat him is running for Georgia and set the state record. So this is the 4-star guy who came over from Texas. He said he could play all safety positions. I don't know about you. That sounds pretty good to me.
Not bad at all.
And then Dimitri Moore is another linebacker, and they need some. They need to replace some. Would it be?
Isn't that Jalen Peoples' brother?
It is.
Right.
And Dimitri Moore, I remember him playing and interviewing him when he was at Cedar Hill back in the day. It makes me feel old, but they need some more experience. That's the word I was looking for. And that's good because he did play some SEC football for. I didn't know he was a freshman, all freshman linebacker, all SEC freshman linebacker for Vanderbilt. But and then at Missouri State, and he's ready to play, and they know what they have in him. So I don't know. What do you think about this haul, man? 19 guys,
Yeah, I mean that'll work, man. This is just the beginning here. Yeah. You have a pretty good season next year, halfway decent. You get this, you got your staff in place.
Yes.
All your coaches. They're recruiting for a full cycle. It's just going to be better and better. And so, but this is definitely a great start.
Yeah. We also, if you haven't seen it yet, we're going to have a video, Joe and I, breaking down the staff being completed, the initial, I think they're calling it the charter staff under Joey McGuire. Me with my names, under Joey McGuire. And so, a lot of content coming your way. Hang with us, my Joe. Great stuff as always.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching, and until next time.